Hello my good students. Welcome back to our IJN Pacific campaign, Let's Play of War on the Sea. Not going to do the usual intro, we're going to go straight into this one as we left off previously. Although I'm going to make a small note, not exactly as we left off. I actually forgot to save the game when I finished last time because I'm a massive idiot. So we're going from the autosave, which was just as we made contact with these Betties. And I'm going to make the executive decision here. I'm going to pull back the Betties. Rather than lose them. We know what's there now. We know there's Bogue, New Orleans County, and 3 transport ships, as well as being protected by some destroyers. We're going to need these Betties quite likely. We have quite a few hours of daytime left, so what we're going to do is use this hard site now, actually. And we're going to bring in our submarines a tad closer. And I'm thinking be a tad spicy and actually go for the heavy cruisers here so that we can pick off the rest of them with our supply interceptors, because that will just leave, of course, 3 merchants, I think 4 or 5 destroyers, and of course the Bogue. Bogue will be a tad interesting if it does decide to launch aircraft in that battle, so it might want to. I don't know about getting rid of that. Otherwise, it's not really a threat to Kaohsiung over here. It is just an escort. I think we can work with that. What I'm going to do is recall our Toryus actually over here. Not that they'll be a massive help, to be honest, but it will be something. It will be something. Is that all of them? I do believe so. Yeah, okay, cool. We do, of course, have a few Toryus over here. We don't have any at Hong Kong because we don't have an airfield there. So we're going to use the hard site here to go straight in with this. We're going to ignore that with the Betties, of course. They have been recalled. They might get shot down here. Yep, okay, well, they're going to get shot down anyway. And that, unfortunately, is going to give us sights over here, which means that we're going to lose hard sights on the strategic map there. We might as well try and go in then if they're in sights, to be honest. We'll go for a high altitude. We might try and hit, as previously, the hospital ship here. So if we play around with our altitude, the fighters coming in will have a harder time going for us. If we line ahead to start with, and then we can break an attack in just a second, which I think will have to be now while we can. So let's go in like that. The greater altitude, of course, means we can lead a tad further with our bombs. So we won't have to get quite so close, will we? That's not so bad. Not so bad at all there. No sign of the fighters just yet. I can't see them about, but you can bet we get shot down by some stray flak shell before we drop. Bloody sod's law, innit? But we have dropped. We're going to form up once again. Just call it a Vic and just get the bloody hell out of there. Let's not fly through them. Let's have a look about this. I bet they all miss, so we get duds. The pessimist is just strong today. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Massive miss. Let's just get the hell out of here. No sign of the fighters. Let's just leave. I'm not going to piss about here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 destroyers. That's absolutely fine. So now that we've lost sight of that, because of bloody engagement, bloody grace period here, we're going to have to park our subs that much closer, unfortunately, to Formosa over here. Like that. And the supply interceptors are going to have to sit right on top. Right on top there. We may well lose this, but we're going to have to focus the supply ships if we don't hit them with our subs. This is rather stressful, actually. It's rather. But we've got to do it. Let's go. No point wasting time. Do see some torpedo bombers coming out. And they're coming over here. There we go. Got some sights. Are they going to circumvent Formosa? Is that not actually, or Kaohsiung rather, is that not actually their target? Looks like they're going northwards actually to Keelung, or Keelung. Must be Kaohsiung if it's over here. Just gonna also, there's not much we can do about that, scouts. This gives us the unenviable task of chasing with submarines here. If that's the case, we might want to take supply interceptors around like that, try and beat them. It's going to take 8.4 hours. We don't have any points to like get any emergency stuff out there. Might want to be spicy and go for some kamikaze attacks here actually. Might want to do that. Can we launch anything just yet? I need to wait 0.3 hours there. Kate can go with torpedoes here, I think. Where are the bloody torpedoes? Right at the top. This is what it's doing to me. The stress is getting to me. 0.2 hours there, no worries. No, they're just going to sit there? They're just going to sit there? Alright. Well, I'll see you in a second then. I'll give you an update as that unfolds. Okay, so neither did they just sit there, but neither did they start going towards the northern part of Formosa. They are certainly going for Kaohsiung at the moment. Having said that then, we're going to try. We do have some Toryus, Kates and such over here, but I'm going to try and keep them at the flank at the moment. We'll keep the Toryus following over here at the moment. We'll bring the Vals in, of course. We'll try and strike these guys with our subs first, but you never know. You never bloody know. Our subs are right on top of them, but we've got the objective now of trying to turn into them, and that's not going to be fun, really. But we've got to try it. What we'll do is we will reduce our depth because we likely have enemy aircraft about, and I will skip forwards to when we are in firing range. Okay, so I think we're coming up really to the time where we want to fire at these heavy cruisers. We have kept our aircraft out of range here and out of sight, so that we haven't managed to break their formations and force them into taking evasive manoeuvres here. So of course the plan, take care of the heavy cruisers with our submarines, remove the AA that they bring to this fight, and of course the bombardment power, and then I think focus one or two supply ships with our planes which are in the area here. I'm just waiting for a slightly more perpendicular angle to hit these ships. The county's not actually looking too bad here at the moment. Waiting really for the New Orleans to move up a tad. Might even just make that a more narrow firing spread there, if that does appear to be the case. But we're going to fast forwards a tad. Keep an eye on that county, and we're going to prepare 5 torpedoes at a 2-degree spread for this one. Do have a fairly decent solution, and the 5 torpedoes should ensure a kill there. But the destroyers, of course, getting fairly close to us, so we are going to want to fire out soon, I think. In fact, we'll fire out now because the pressure's getting to me and I'm getting impatient. To make sure we do fire out all of these fine. Okay, I think we'll scope down here, and we will bring ourselves down to 70 meters. Do we have a layer to hide under? No, we don't, because that would just be a bit much, wouldn't it? That would just be a bit too much of an ask, if you ask me. Wait for those to travel, as ever. Do want to fire out a lot earlier with the county there, of course. It's that much further away, and we do need to wait a tad for the New Orleans to turn, I think. In fact, do we want to turn ourselves? I think we do want to turn a small bit towards the New Orleans there. We'll go to a 3-knot speed there, and a very minor turn, because you can see the cavitation already there, to be honest. It's not what I like to see. We did have some torpedo bombers come overhead, so it was a good idea to reduce our depth there, or increase the depth, I suppose. Then they've popped off, they've gone. Got our formation over here, we're just following the Vals is what we're doing. They're leading at the moment, so they can turn in later on once we have hit. And I think we're going to want to fire out no matter what with this ship anyway soon. We will keep that as a 1 degree spread, I think, and we will fire out, I think, as soon as that passes the 4 destroyer here. Well, it's not a destroyer, it's a just a number 1 ship. It's the hospital ship here. So that should be a decent time there. I think we're going to fire out now, actually. Should get a hit on one of these at least. Really, I think I'm hoping for the New Orleans. I think the AA on that is just a tad better. We're going to scope down, of course, and get out with this submarine. And that can go to the rear, get to the back of their sonar. And we'll keep a high speed on this for now. They only really activate their sonars, of course, when they know they're being struck. And even though we did actually fly very close to them with our aircraft through mismanagement earlier, I don't know why, I just don't want to take any manoeuvres. But you know what, I will happily take that. Happily take that. So we're just going to zoom ahead here. I think we've tad mismatched that with the New Orleans there, but that's okay. Let's see how that goes for now. Okay, so mission accomplished. We did only score, I think, 2 hits on that county. Let's just review that. Yeah, 1 dud and 2 real hits there, but it was enough to sink that, and that's exactly what we want. So we're certainly going to come in with our planes over here and actually now target one of the, or if not 2, of the merchant shippings here. Of course, they're breaking their formation as well. Taking the destroyers away to hunt down our subs actually might help our planes out as well. Going to go a tad deeper here. I forget what the test depth here is of these. I believe it's like 80, wasn't it? Test depth of 60, so we'll stick at 60 then. Don't want to go any further than that. Just be asking for death there. We're already at 70 here, so that's not the best. Is that hurting our... It's not hurting our hull just yet. That's okay. Well, we've got a test depth of 100 here. Why is it saying it's different here? Alright, we'll bloody go down there. We'll go down to 80. Be even worse. Interesting. Probably look at the wrong submarine there. But with these cruisers down, they won't be able to bombard, and they won't be able to have so much AA power, of course. The Bogue will still have a fair bit of AA. But that's not really a threat to our island, is it? Not particularly. So we're going to fast forwards here, let the planes come in, and we're going to decide what we want to hit. I'm thinking this particular ship and this particular ship at the moment. I happen to know that they'll be carrying the most supplies and troops. That's just how they work. And we're getting rather close now, aren't we? So what we're going to do is get our valves working on. I think we're going to get them on this ship over here, get them tad close, and then we can tell them to attack. Just bring them down a bit. The Torus can form up by themselves. They can strafe. They're inside the Kates there. Excellent. I think they can probably strafe this down actually if we target that, or at least give it a go. Just to give the AA something to think about there. Bringing the valves directly in there, of course. And the Kates, oh, that's the wrong one we've formed up, not to worry there. Bring the Torus in either way, like so. The Kates in that case will go for, I think this, not this one, that's the county. I wanted to press the number 2 there. Go for the number 2 ship. They can go a tad wide on the rear there, I think. Increase their speed to max, which is already done. So we'll reduce the altitude here of the Torus. so they can get a nice little pre-strafe on here. We'll increase their speed for now so that it gets ahead of the Vals. Doesn't look like destroyers know exactly where our subs are, and of course they've got the problem of our aircraft now as well, which is excellent. Going to tell the Vals to attack them, because why not? And we get the Tories in a tad closer here. Slow down the speed and attack now. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Got to get one of these down at least in this battle. There we go, some nice hits. That should slow it down for the Vals incoming there. That Torio actually hit the ship itself, which is excellent. That will really help. We're going to move out as well here, just to get out of the AA range there. Vals are coming in. Just need 2 hits, really, that would be ideal. There we go, that should be going down. The number 6, that is. Let's take critical and critical, excellent work. Really, really good there. Very, very happy. That should be going down. So we'll get the Torios out. We'll target the number 2 to highlight that for us. And I think what we'll do is we will slow our speed down and come right in now. Because if we just linger about, we'll certainly start losing more planes. The Kates can come in as well. Yeah, that's absolutely sinking. Let's get them diving then to an attack position. It's very tempting to hit the carrier. It's taking all of my willpower to not hit the carrier. Oh dear, let's go straight in. I think increase our speed for now, reduce the Kate speed. We'll try and get a strafe done first so that we do... Oh, number 6 is a posthumous magazine explosion. That's not particularly helpful, but it's very nice to see. Yeah, we'll try and get a strafe down first so we can slow it. Ready for the Kates to go in here, I think. Yeah, there we go. We'll increase their speed now. Ooh, magazine explosion. That changes things. That really changes things. That changes a lot of things. Let's go for the hospital ship. May take some time, but that will go down because of the magazine explosion there. And if we look after our Torios, they can come in for a second strafe on something there. Let's increase their altitude and speed, of course. Gonna have to remember that the Torios must be fairly decent at strafing. If they can do that with only what, 5 of them currently there, that's brilliant. We're gonna tell these Kates to attack from here. Yep, that's sinking. That is excellent. Hero Torios. Oh, all of them need medals. Medals of Valor, I think. Excellent. Now this should only, I mean 3 hits of course always ideal to get all of your torpedoes on target, but 2 hits would be brilliant. Then we can come in for a strafe, I think, if that is the case. Oh, come on, that's looking good. That's 2 hits at least. Yes. Oh, that rear one's not going to, unfortunately, but like I said, doesn't matter a huge amount. We'll bring the Torios around them, just in case. And we'll reduce their altitude so we're ready. The damage report on that is critical to heavy, so that might well go down. Already got 10 command points from this, and very much stifled their invasion here. That is excellent. Really, really good combined arms work here. Excellent. Really, really happy. Looks like they're still thinking about our subs. Should we listen up for some sonar pings? Don't know if I have them on silent actually. That's halted, so we did have them. Okay. I want to reduce our speed a tad there. Gonna have to make this quick so we can retreat out. So it's likely the destroyers might have some... Oh, it did go down to flooding. Okay, okay. I think we'll help out this submarine then. That might be a tad late though. We'll help out this sub and try and strafe this destroyer. It's either a Benson or a Gleaves once again. But like I said, the destroyers will have perhaps some troops and supplies on them, but what between them, this one can carry 150, I believe. That's 200 because this carries 50. Another 350. Bow can't carry anything. Don't know how much average Clemsons can carry actually. I think there's the same as normal destroyers over here, so it's not going to be enough to take Kaohsiung. So we'll go in, and I think really I'm tempted just to retreat out, to be honest. Going over here, let's increase the speed there. Just go. Okay, let's reduce our speed once again. Can't sight that bloody destroyer actually visually here. Just there, that's where it is. Lovely. And we'll tell them to attack from here. Is that dropping? Is that dropping? We're on I-19. We just stop. Don't think they're multitasking here. Not expecting to really sink this destroyer with only 5 burning Toryus over here. Yeah, they are dropping, that's okay. Let's go then back over to I-19. Not guessing any hits, although we'll get a couple here actually. Got some very nice strafing rounds on this destroyer though. We did lose a couple of Toryus there unfortunately. That's okay. Where's our I-19? How you doing? Not the worst, but I will want to send this back. We'll recover from this actually. So we'll let that recover, and I think we'll leave. Very, very nice indeed. Well, just look at that. Absolutely phenomenal defense there. Oh, so happy with that. So happy with that. But you can bet they're still going to land some sort of troops on there, onto Kaohsiung, because of those destroyers. But we'll see what we want to do with our supply interceptors to finish that off now, because what? It's a damaged destroyer, 4 total destroyers and a carrier. Not going to do a loss against 2 light cruisers and a few destroyer escorts. Surely. But we'll see. We'll see. Our destroyer escort's not particularly great. But the 2 light cruisers will certainly help out there a lot. 12 command points as well. 38,000 tons of shipping sunk. We did lose 7 planes, but you know what? Fine. They can take it. Absolutely take it. Maybe a little late to intercept these because of the fact that we did put them towards Kaohsiung over there. That's okay. Keep Toryu out here for now so we can carry on scousing. And we'll bring the subs a little closer, I think, to Kaohsiung. Let's get going. Alrighty, so our submarines patrolling the Philippines have sighted yet another battleship task force and yet another Queen Elizabeth. I've just checked, we only have 2 more of these to sink. This one and of course another. But what is more fascinating about this particular task force is you can see I've identified a Baltimore and a Wichita. Wichita not too uncommon to see. Of course there is only 1 in the series, but it can come out fairly early on. The Baltimore is one that is particularly late period, and I've never seen the AI use that before in any of my playthroughs, so that's really nice to see. So we're certainly going to try and sink that. How many do they have in that class actually? I believe it's a fair old amount. Should know, I used them in a previous series. 14, excellent, cool. So going to go for the Queen Elizabeth and the Baltimore. I did decide originally to go for the Wichita, but I don't think the angle we've got on there is particularly viable. I don't think it's overly possible that we're going to hit that. But we're going to go for the Queen Elizabeth, and I've just checked that does have a monstrous torpedo defense of 75%. So we're going to go for just 5 torpedoes. We do have 13 in total. We'll try and slow that down at least. We'll go for a 1 degree spread on that because it's quite nicely done. We've got a fair bit of distance, so the 1 degree spread will become fairly wide. So we're going to fire out now before we lose the opportunity there. Wait for that to go out and dive down when we can, which is now. Excellent. Let's dive down to 70. Do we have a layer? We have a 73 layer. Excellent. Let's go to 80 then and run away. We'll wait for those to travel out a tad, simply because there's that much more distance between that sub and the Queen Elizabeth than there's between this and the Baltimore there. So we'll try for that. In fact, there's a few kilometres worth there, so wait for that to go out. We will fire 4 torpedoes as a 1 degree spread for the Baltimore there, but I don't want to wait too long for that because that is moving away from us now. So I think we're going to fire out, give that a second, I think. Really give that a little bit more lead. And we'll fire out now. And that'd be very nice indeed. Fingers crossed. That was looking like that might hit the Baltimore actually before we get to the Queen Elizabeth. That was a worry I sort of had when we were going for the Wichita actually. But we're wasting time with this. Go to silence, go down to 80 meters once again, and we'll turn out this way away from their sonar, shall we? And we'll see how this works out. Well, yeah, as somewhat predicted there, we did hit the Baltimore with the Queen Elizabeth bound torpedoes first, but look at that, a magazine explosion on the first torpedo. I've been getting a lot of that recently. I was playing a US playthrough for myself the other day and found a Yamato on the first week and used, of course, an American submarine to try and sink it, not hoping for too much, knowing how terrible US torpedoes are, but the first hit was a magazine detonation, I believe. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, we're getting a lot of that luck recently. Don't think we're going to hit the Queen Elizabeth here. The torpedoes would probably have to be a bit closer to it there to hit it, which is rather unfortunate. But I'll be very happy sinking the Baltimore there. I think we've had a good fill of sinkages today, haven't we? Been very lucky in that regard. So what we're doing now is actually we're setting up an attack on Del Monte. We're finally in a position to do that, just converging all of our forces now. So I don't think there's anything else we can do here. These torpedoes are not going to hit the destroyer, which is a Netherlands destroyer, which is excellent to see. But yeah, the torpedo's not going to do anything else, so I think we are just going to guess out. And let's go. Lovely 2 command points there. That was just over here, so our patrol is very nice indeed. We have 3 torpedoes left in the I-11 and 8 there. That will be enough for one more strike. Don't want to waste any torpedoes there. Unused is waste indeed. So we are converging all of our supplies over here. And we're going to try and bombard Cebu once again with invasion support. We have Akagi and Hiryu over here. We have, of course, our invasion supplies to go on to Del Monte. We got troops but 0 supplies on Naval. Didn't realise I'd taken all of them off of there, but not to worry. We'll probably come back around with some troops later, but once again, it's supplies that's the issue, isn't it? Really is supplies that's the issue. So, shall see you in the future with an update. Okay, so we're now finally approaching Del Monte and Cebu over here. We're approaching under cover of night. That, gotta be honest, we tried measuring it, but there's a little bit more down to luck than real calculation there. As ever, that's how we go. So we're at 1908 hours. It's going to take about 5 hours to get over into a bombarding position. It's going to take a tad less since we do need 30 kilometers distance as a maximum to hit this. So we'll try and come out here. We should be able to get in, possibly out in time. Possibly out in time for that with our invasion support before we get air time. So it's the invasion supplies and such, which are going to take some time over here. 5.5 hours from here. That's not the best. This one lagging behind a tad because the Kurihimes and Taiyes are that much slower than Kokuryu and Kamogawa, which is a shame. But it'll be reinforcements. It'll be reinforcements. So not the greatest initial landing. Do have a few thousand troops and supplies between us, so it should be good. But yeah, I think really what's important is bombarding Cebu over here, because I do want to try and keep, if possible, a level 1 airfield on each of these bases. So let's go in, and I'll update you in just a second. Actually, before we do that, I'm gonna open the floor to these command points issue here. I've been waiting really to get our supply interceptors back out. We're going to get the Minakaze tomorrow, and that will bring us up to speed then. But it's going to leave us with a fair amount of command points to spend. I've got to be honest, I've no clue what I want to do with them. Really what's the most tempting is to reinforce Fighting Force 2 with a battleship or two, maybe another couple of destroyers as well. That's the most useful option at the moment, I think. We could of course get Soryu out to actually start making the Kido Battalion, but I don't think at the moment an extra carrier is what's particularly pressing. Not that this is particularly pressing either, but it will give us a much more presence and a ability to be forceful with any emergency attacks between Truk, Peleliu and Guam there. And it will let us really bombard once again any island bases around here. So we'll see about that. Open the floor. I'm very much open to suggestions there. But yeah, email in. So yeah, we're going to come back in just a second when we're in range to do our bits and bobs here. So it should be in range to shore bombard Cebu over here. Let's try that. We are indeed. Excellent. So that's reduced down to level 2 airfield. I'm going to reduce that once again because that will go a long way into helping our protection for our retreating supplies. So let's bombard that once again. And that should have reduced it down. We've seen the radar range go down for sure. Yeah, level 1 airfield, excellent stuff. We'll leave them to it. We'll pull out here, but not too far, just so that we can get these zeros out from the Taiyo there. We should be in range now to actually unload all of our cargo here. Let's unload this group. We are in range, excellent stuff. Sometimes it's a little difficult to measure that. How's Del Monte looking then? That's looking very nice indeed, actually. Not as supplied as I'd like. The manual says do a 1-to-1 for supplies and troops to be efficient. So that's certainly true, but we've seen the rate at which we burn through supplies. So I think a ratio of 1 troop to 2 supplies would be great, ideally, but we don't always have that to play with, do we? So of course we're going to just retreat straight out here. Like so, and I'll join you in a second. Quite likely going to have an air battle before we get these in. And weirdly, that wasn't the case. Don't know what the bloody hell the AI are doing. Probably because we've bombarded these to the dirt. They probably only have fighters, is my guess there, and float planes. So yeah, not a problem there at all. I'll take that. Absolutely. Let's unload cargo. What have we got here? How are we looking? Yeah, much better. That's much heavier on the supplies then. That's really going to help us. It's not going to push the balance of power too much further, because I believe any further than what it's currently standing is a takeover, and that's just not going to happen instantly, is it? So we're probably going to wait a day or two for that to tick over for hours. So we'll wait for that and end the video there, I think, and that'll be some very nice accomplishments in one video. We have resupplied trucks, so we're able to go there for any armaments, of course, and we're about to get on to Saipan by the looks of it with our minor resupplies to upgrade that. So that'll probably be the next point there. Well, we may be ending the episode here, guys, simply because I don't want to be asked at the moment to deal with this. Completely missed this. Enemy troops have landed at Okinawa. They've bombarded us, so we've not got an airfield to retaliate at the moment, which makes probably this Hayabusa and this Hayabusa a bit homeless now. But the good news is it's not really a massive invasion. even with the bombardments reducing our troops and such, we can see the balance of power not great there in their favour. And we have just brought out our supply interceptors from previously. So what we can do there is actually, they're not too far from Kure, and load those up with some minor and quick reinforcements. Actually, they should be able to get there before we lose Okinawa, or at least we'll be able to retake it, because we can see that there's not actually loads there. So a shame. I'm not going to be able to tell you what is in this task force actually, and I think really that's pushed me to really reinforce the Hong Kong Formosa area, hasn't it? And Okinawa. What we need to do, guys, is use our 110 command points to make a more home front patrol guard, really. We have 110 command points. Very much open to suggestions on that. I'm recording this well in advance though, so I may well make a decision on that later on before we get that. In fact, I will. We'll see. Yeah, just send in your recommendations. Very much open to what we want to guard our home inner front here, because this is unacceptable, really unacceptable. We've been focusing this area so much, and we are on the offensive over here now. But of course the enemy taking advantage, actually not a bad idea. I'll probably do the same if I were in their shoes. It's very much Sun Tzu's fight where the enemy is empty, and the emptiness it is as well. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the video there, guys, unfortunately. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Very much hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed making it today for you. It's been very spicy indeed. So I shall see you in the future. I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.